Honorable colleagues, yesterday morning, various parts of the Lake Victoria Basin received heavy rains, which caused flooding in some places and subsequently impeded mobility, and we even lost livelihoods. I was checking in the media that we lost around 5 and 7, and more people are injured. It was very, very unfortunate what happened yesterday. Such a climate-induced occurrences, I remind about the need for responsible and sustainable environment and natural resource use by each and every one of us. At the end of the day, natural disasters do not discriminate. Whether you're looking after nature or not, they come for you. So let us be crusaders of environmental conservation and sustainable natural resource use.
Join you in condoling with the bereaved families. As of close of yesterday, 7 people had passed on due to the flooding that happened in various parts of Kampala and beyond. With your permission, sir, hopefully at some point we can observe a moment of silence for
In fact, I wanted
Ugandans.
to say that we can do it now. Okay? If we could do it now, we observe a minute of silence and then Rob can continue.
May the souls of the departed rest in eternal peace.
A couple of days back, we were here and we were discussing the heat wave, which had become very problematic. Some colleagues here reported of deaths in their constituencies. People were collapsing and dying because of the extreme heat. And we're tasking government to deal with that situation, update the country on what ought to happen and so on. Now we are on the opposite side of the lane with very heavy rains that are causing flooding. As we have mentioned, 7 people died as of yesterday. Myself, in my constituency, I lost 3 people. 2 people in Mulimira zone, that's Bukoto, a 3-year-old child and an 11-month-old baby, another in Banda, and of course, different parts of Kampala. I want to implore government, to reach out to the affected families, the bereaved families. There are several that are now displaced. We are trying to find shelter for them in churches, in mosques, and so on, and take care of them from there. We are hoping that government comes in because many are not able to stay in their homes currently. They are still flooded. Others, were affected heavily.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I want to take this opportunity, first of all, to thank you for raising the concerns on the overflooding in Kampala. And regarding the issue that you raised on the work that we've been handling, we were majorly handling the Lugogo flooding, and the report is ready. So when you have virus time, we shall table the report. But, Right Honourable Speaker and honourable colleagues, this is the first rain we received, or second, yesterday's rain. And we can see the extent of the damage. And Right Honourable Speaker and honourable colleagues, I want to assure you, the little time I've been in that committee, almost 60% of the work you see going around in Kampala has no approved plans. That has no approved plans. That one, whoever has interested themselves, they know. 2, it is not even supervised by competent engineers. Because the ones we have attempted to look at, we found those challenges. It's now very important, I think, Right Honourable Speaker, that the Minister of Disaster, because now it's Kampala, there is Kasese coming, there is Bududa coming, and many other areas. So, Right Honourable Speaker and honourable colleagues, you can be sure that in this season, we shall be discussing disaster on a daily basis. I think it's very important, Right Honourable Speaker, that the Minister of Disaster Preparedness comes to this House with a plan, the plan on how prepared we are for these disasters. Because yesterday was just, it was a sample. We are headed for more trouble.
I wish to put the following facts to the House.
First and foremost, to condole with the families that lost their dear ones in yesterday's floods occasioned by heavy rain. Right Honorable Speaker, the Ministry of Water and Environment recently briefed the country comprehensively in two fronts. One, they explained why the 3 months of December 2024, January 2025, and February 2025, the country experienced dry conditions and high temperatures. They even went ahead to explain or project how the 3 months of March, April, and May would look like. I want to start with the past and come to the present. On the question of the dry conditions and high temperatures, they attributed them, 1, to natural factors, and 2, to human factors. The natural factors are scientific in nature. What I picked from them, number 1, was the influence of tropical cyclone in the Indian Ocean. That was the scientific explanation why the country was very, very hot in the 3 months of December, January, and February. Point number 2 was the position of the sun. And scientifically, they explained that during February specifically, the sun moves closer to the equator. And as we are all aware, equator directly crosses our country. That is why it was exceedingly hot. The other scientific explanation, Mr. Speaker, was what they termed as urban heat island effect, where they explained that cities and large towns experience high temperatures.
Government Chief Whip is not the causes and what, okay? Our issue is the mitigation mechanism. Because all this you have repeated here on the floor several times. Our challenge is, when all these the scientists knew were coming, what did they do to mitigate their effects on the population? That's, if you could just help us on that. Because I remember the Minister for Environment sometime back and also Minister for Disaster had brought all these issues here.
I'm right.
Ensonga y'amataba ag'omu Kampala tegyali badde kikulu sandibadde nandisabye abantu baleme bakitunulire mu nsonga bbiri. Esooka sandyagadde bantu bakitunulire nga kizibu kyaffe ffekka. Ensi yonna eri mu mataba ne mu Amerika mwagalabye. So climate change yazze. Naye ekisinga obukulu yenneeyisa y'Abannayuganda abaasenga mu makubo g'emisambwa. Emisambwa bulijjo bye tuyita amakubo g'emisambwa kwe kusenga mu bifo ebirina obuzibu obulinga entobazi, ebifo eby'ensozi. Kati omuyaga bwe gujja nga bagamba omusambwa gwayiseewo. Kakati olwedde Bannayuganda ensonga eyasookera ddala nti mwasenga mu myala. Era muvudde ewammwe gye mwava ekyannamukaaka simanyi wa mwenna mwasenga mu myala. Era mwenna mwe mutudde awo. Kakati ekyo kye kimu ku byo ebyaleeta obuzibu. Ekyokubiri bwe bwali obulagajjavu bw'abantu baffe ne babakkiriza ne muzimba ne mutandika okuwakana n'emyala n'obutonde bw'ensi. Kakati amazzi mwagakubira amakubo tegakyalina makubo. Kati tegakyalina makubo gajja kunonya maki amakubo. Ye ntambuza oba n'enneeyisa yammwe gye musaasaanyamu kasasiro. Bannayuganda ye ffeffekka mu nsi yonna akeera ku makya n'alaba nga kasasiro n'amuteeka mu mwala amazzi gamwongereyo. Kakati bino bye mukabya kajanja ate gakyabatta. Era mbasaba okuva leero kati engeri gye mwalabyeko kati muzuukuke buli omu akole kyalina okukola ki. KCC ekola ogwayo naffe nga bwe tukola ogwaki ogwaffe. So kati njagala sente sira kirala kye njagala. Era saagala mubaka inaasi tukayogere bino ne bw'onoyogera ebingi ebintu bigenda na ssente. Ssente zokka ezeetaaga nga tusazeewo okukwata ku myala gyokka gy'eminene nti tugenda gigogola kumpi twetaaga obuwumbi 100. Nga tetunakwata ku gino emirala okukola kumpi twetaaga obuwumbi 100. Ssente zokka okusobola okukirininga ekibuga nakyo twetaaga obulala obuwumbi 100 okujja kasasiro wammwe gwenze naawe gwantunuulira ggwe ayambadde essuuti ennungi gwagenda asaasaanya kasasiro kumpi nayo neetaaga obuwumbi 10. Olukuku tugogola buki? Tetunatandika mu kulima. So kati nze mbadde nsaba temwetaaga na kubiteeka ku flow biki. Bw'obiteeka ku flow beera ne solution oŋŋambe naye wano waliwo nze ninaye wange sente zitakola zabigwa bitalize muziwongere Kampala tukole emyala kuba mwenna mubeera mu Kampala mwenna wano we muyiyiza ku weekend ne mudde ewamu